So we had a few moments where we had to true up our inventory. That meant writing things off. One year we'd report $1 million of profit. The next year we'd be like, hey, we're in the red.
One, two, three.
FBA calculators, they're lying to you. They're not telling you the full story that you need to know in order to figure out your profitability at the ASIN level. This has been something that's been very painful for me, as I've sold over $100 million on Amazon, and getting things just wrong by 0.1%, that's six figures. And I've seen that. I've been on the wrong side of that. And fortunately, I'm going to share some of the insights that I've seen why FBA calculators are missing the big picture. There's maybe 10, 20 different ways that affect your SKU level profitability. And then ultimately how you can get your accounting in order so you don't have the same scars that I have. So this recording was inspired by two things. One, I got a question from one of the listeners when they listened to my podcast where I interviewed my co-founder about our entire experience starting back in 2011, 2012, selling on Amazon. And he's heard me share this a lot, that like, get your accounting in order. Get your accounting in order. It's something that I've repeated because I've got scars. I've seen our business show $1 million in profit, and then we come to look back a few months later and our accounting tells us we're a little bit lower. And, and they hit a point in 2018 after about 6 or 7 years selling on Amazon when we're like, hey, we're in the red here. We got to figure out what's going on, why my estimations in the software that I'm building and the models that I'm building, like why we're not as profitable as this. And ultimately I came to find there's a few extra buckets that we're eating at our profitability. And someone on Reddit created a post, this post right here, in fact, where it shows our profit estimations. So he's like, hey guys, I get asked often about why I believe the most profitability calculators don't give realistic estimates. And he analyzed Jungle Scouts, Helium 10s, and then the Amazon FBA calculator. And so you see referral fees, cost of goods, storage costs, and you can see all these X's are things that they are not factoring. I think this person did a really good job of helping you understand there's a lot of different fees and some of them may not impact you. But on the whole, I'm going to guess if you have over 100 ASINs, these do affect you. And then ultimately, I'm going to tell you, I've done analysis. I've talked to accounting professionals, software solutions. I've got some recommendations at the end, things that I have, learned the hard way. And I hope that I'm getting across some of the scars that I have, because it's very painful to work so hard on your business and, at the end of it all to be like, our profitability is not quite as much as I thought it was. My software says this, but my QuickBooks says this. What's going on? So let's jump in and see if we can't shed some light on the story. So where your starting point should be when understanding, your accounting, your profitability is a tool like QuickBooks or Xero, some sort of ledger that you ultimately can use to pay your taxes. That's where you want your source of truth to be. But you also want to understand at the ASIN level. And that's where FBA calculators come in. They don't factor in, some of the overhead that you have to when you're actually paying your taxes, but you want to know at the ASIN level. Now, there's some factors I'm going to jump into that may apply to the ASIN level, and some of them that are actually just like you may want to consider at the ASIN level, because sometimes products are really bulky and maybe they're not heavy. Do you account for your inbound shipping? Do you account for your prep, the materials? How does that change from product to product? What about the labor? Does it take 1 minute to prep a product? Does it take 5 minutes to prep a product? Now, what about returns? Returns are eating at your profitability way more than you want to admit. For returns, there are a variety of fees. And also, do you get the inventory back? Sometimes you don't get it back. Sometimes you get it back and it's sellable. Sometimes you get it back and it's unsellable. And then you have to like remove it. That's another fee. And so a product that has a 2% return rate that's good. And maybe you could account for that 2% as like 2% off of your net margin. That's usually how I calculated it. But sometimes you have products that are at 5, 6, 7% return rate, and that's harder. That's more painful. And you really should know if you have some of those products so that you're pricing things correctly, or that if you're maybe you're working with a brand and you want to tell them, hey, you know what, this product doesn't work at this price. I need it at this price because I'm on the back end, I'm getting 5%. You don't need to push that on them, but you just need to be aware of it. And this analysis actually helped us exit out of the Halloween category in the way that we were. We were doing so many costumes and then 15-20% return rates on some of these costumes in November. Wow, that really hurt, and they don't come back in great shape. There's some other scars that like maybe were a bit more specific to my business, because if you're using a QuickBooks-like tool, your inventory value matters. And so do you consider your inventory value? You have different buckets of inventory. We had a big warehouse. We had 6 figures of product coming to our warehouse that we've already paid for on our credit cards or whatever. We have 6 figures of inventory inside of it that's being prepped. We have midterm storage. We have products that are on the way to Amazon. And then we have, reserved FC transfer. We have reserved orders, all these buckets of inventory. And it's really easy to get them wrong. So we had a few moments where we had to true up our inventory. That meant writing things off. One year we'd report $1 million of profit. The next year we'd be like, hey, we're in the red. And so I'm going to jump into a few tools to kind of like show, where to start out in this, or maybe if you're like halfway through, how you could start to think about it. These were like my business's experiences, and I know they may not always apply to you. If you don't have a warehouse, then you could scratch a lot of that off and, track your inventory a lot better. So, I'm going to jump into Amazon's FBA Calculator and show a few of the things that they're accounting for, and then ultimately some of the best accounting methods that I have found. And I actually built an infographic about this, and I've shown it to a lot of people. So hopefully this helps. Okay, this is Amazon FBA Calculator. It's improved a lot. It's gotten a lot better, and they have. I just threw in an ASIN. They have, your storage costs for January through September or Q4. They're accounting for their new placement fee. Are you doing this in minimal shipments? Are you doing in partial shipment splits where you pay 34 cents? Are you doing fully Amazon optimized shipments where it's $0 and maybe you're shipping to 4 places at once? Most FBA calculators don't have this. The very nuanced view. And then when we go to the second page of this FBA calculator, and we have sellable return costs, unsellable return costs, replacement costs. Look, most FBA calculators don't even account for any of these things. Okay, so what do you do? I'm going to jump. I've created an infographic regarding the best accounting methods for Amazon sellers. I've got 6 here, and you can go to this link. Just type in Google best accounting methods for Amazon sellers, so you can analyze it yourself and look. We have QuickBooks, A2X, Seller Board, Ecom Balance, Sell Analytics, and ConnectBooks. A few of these, it's enough to do your taxes, but the monthly fees can vary from $19, $100 a month, $400 a month. And I think this leads you to look at some of the better tools are A2X, like for its price. Sellerboard's not bad. Sell Analytics for its price and the fact that it does, it is a complete double ledger accounting. That's pretty strong and for an affordable price. But if you want the fully done for you bookkeeping, Ecom Balance, can't go wrong with that. $400 a month. Every business is a little bit different. Your size actually does matter. If you're doing $100,000 a year, you're going to lean towards one. If you're doing about $1 million a year, you may have more budget here to get it done right. And so just take from me some of my scars where I can convey to you that like an FBA calculator, its accounting is missing some things that you need to be accounting for, and your business, whether you're shipping from China or you're sourcing domestically, you're using a prep center versus your own warehouse. Such different businesses that you need to account for these costs. And so I thought this was helpful and put it together. Now, the truth is, if you want to have a profitable Amazon business, usually the decisions that you make before you think about your accounting, that's going to help. And so that's where, what I focus on professionally every single day is with Smart Scout. It helps you find the most profitable categories, helps you find the most profitable brands, helps you avoid competition, all these things together to become, what I think is a one-of-a-kind tool, and that you kind of have to see it to believe it. So if you want a coupon code and jump in and make good, profitable decisions before you have to reevaluate your entire profile, we have a coupon code SMART2024, and that will get you 25% off your first few months. So hope you enjoyed this show, and if you have any questions on this, I'm happy to answer my best, but I'm not a professional accountant. So thanks, and hope you have the most profitable business ever, of all time, of 2024, of 2025, forever. All right, take care.
1, 2, 3.